want to tell you about my greyhound dog that I got about a month and a half ago. I really enjoy him. His name is Chrome, and he's an ex-racer, racing dog. You know, they go around the track, around and around, kind of like they do at Daytona, the cars going around and around. So then, he got worse as he was declining, so the owners start to get rid of him, and sometimes they even kill him. But I decided to adopt him, and I've really enjoyed him so far. So he's about 4.5 now. So I want to talk about some different greyhound myths that are interesting, kind of dispel those. Myth number 1 is that people talk a lot about how greyhounds are a lot of work, that all day they're needing to do things and they're active and they're just going crazy. But that's not true. They're really more like couch potatoes. They're lazy, they lay around, relax. Then, every day they can go run. So it's fine if you want to have them in an apartment, because you can just take them to the dog park. They'll run around, but for like 30 to 45 seconds, and then they're done. Because, in the past on the racetrack, they were only running 30 to 45 seconds once a week. And then after that, they were just laying around. So they run, but then they get tired. And they want to go home. So it's fine to have a greyhound in an apartment. Myth number 2 is that greyhounds are not good with other animals, and that they get mean, they don't get along, they want to be alone and independent. But that's not true. They're used to interacting with a lot of animals at the track. Different trainers, different people at practice, giving awards. So they're used to interacting with a lot of different creatures. So they're used to that. But, if they get alone, they get really jumpy. It's really not good for them. It's fine. They're good with being with other animals. They even sometimes lip cats, which is very strange. But, they don't all do that, I'm sure. But, it's just a phenomenon. They really like the cats. Myth number 2 is that it's abusive. It's abusive to them. But that's not true, They are used to the track. They grow up and develop and they get strong and they eat and they want to race and they want to work. It gives them some purpose. They're not used to toys. They're not used to stairs. Sometimes they get confused because they've never done it, so they go backwards because they're not used to it. Myth number 4 is that they're too skinny because they race. But that's not true. Normally when they're born, their bones are thin, they're thin. Sometimes if they're fat, that means they're sick or they're dying. But, they just have a really skinny structure. They're used to racing, and because of that, they have to be thin. But that's just the way the breed is. But because of that, sometimes they need clothes, like a coat, pajamas, something like that, because they get cold when they go outside. It's kind of like a human concept, too, that they don't have enough fat, so they need a coat or something. Myth number 5 is that greyhounds are always angry and they're mean. Because, on TV you see them and they've got that muzzle on. But, that's not really true. Because in the race, they can sometimes bump heads. So it's really to protect them so they don't bump each other's heads. They have the muzzle also because, you know, they're chasing a white rabbit. And so it lures them to make them want to go chase it, and they chase it around, so it helps them not to kill other animals that are like that, or not to try to chase them down. So the muzzle is really there to protect them and helps them not get their head hit or attacks other things, get stuff in their face. I just want to tell you about how I got my greyhound, because I was looking around, looking for different support groups. I'm looking, and I see different ones. But some of them, you know, for rescues, they don't even require home visits. They just didn't care. They're like, here, have the dog. But they're just trying to get rid of it. That didn't really make me feel good about it. But I found Greyhound Welfare. They serve Northeast Florida and South Florida. Sometimes they transport them to different parts of the state. So they're very good. They have the support group that meets every week. They meet together and they gather and talk to each other. Can ask questions and talk about their animals, about people, their food, about the adoption process. So it's really nice for them to be able to come and get together and talk to each other about different things. And they meet every week. Except for the other week, they canceled and then didn't say anything, so it was frustrating. But anyway, another group is a Yahoo group. So you can go on there and ask other people different things. So I like going onto that group. So then I can go work, talks about the animals, talks about their work. You can ask different people different things. I really like www.greyhoundwelfare.org. It's a very good organization.